First kick, I snap into action. When I'm digging in the trenches, get dominated off the line of scrimmage. Read and react quick to make it early diagnosis. Hit you with the quick release like Marino Danny dopeness. Explosive change of direction in the true essence of Reggie Bush. From JT and ZT to DVP and AVG. Terminator to a quarterback, Hunter JP. Steve Ross, the boss, King Flow, and card slinging, gambling genius, slick Chris Greer.
Good morning to all you Dolphin fans out there. I'm Rob Mosley, a.k.a. Dolphins Thirsty, founder of DolphinThirsty.com. And as always, my co-host with the most, Justin, is here with us. He's a.k.a. Digging in the Trenches. You can find him on Twitter at JPF Scout. And I just, again, say a fins up on this fantastic Friday. Hop in, comment, let us know what you want to talk about Dolphin-wise. Justin may go over some of the point stuff. I'm not sure if you're ready to jump in on that yet. You want to hold off for a minute? And I know we're going to give our predictions today. I know you got a Saturday show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. So many Fins, I'm saying today. So Fins Talk Sports Network on Saturdays. What time can they find you there?
It'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll do the show then, and I'll just go over some stuff about the game, the pregame matchups, the key matchups, and stacking the brick segment, and then we'll give our pregame predictions.
Okay, sounds good. So the Dolphins are about three. The last I checked, the Dolphins were about 3.5 point favorites, 3 to 3.5 point favorites, somewhere in that neighborhood. That's the last I checked. I haven't checked today.
Yeah, I think it's the same right now, actually.
Okay.
Here, I'm looking at it right now. Let's see. It's actually three points. Yeah, Miami's favored by 3.
Okay, so all right. So I mean that's pretty solid favorite being on the road when you consider that the home team, gets 3 right off the jump. So they're thinking Miami's the better team, which is good. You want those guys are normally pretty good. They know who the better team is.
It's nice that sees Vegas has given us some favorable odds right there too. So everybody thinks that we're a little bit better than the Chargers are. That's good.
Yeah, because if you would have played this game opening day of the weekend, the Chargers would have been they would have been favored for sure coming in.
Yeah.
So it's nice that we've gotten that respect during the season. That the boys in Vegas, the boys on deciding who plays on prime time, they're starting to like our Dolphins. So
yeah, absolutely.
A good thing. I know you're a little bit under the weather today, Justin, so we're going to try to keep this short. Hopefully we get some people in here commenting and giving us that hit the subscribe and like button for us, and we
absolutely.
Come on, Dolphins, get on in here and let's have some fun.
It'll take them a little bit of time,
I know. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully you start feeling better. Hopefully the weekend, hopefully a Sunday victory.
Oh, that'll make me feel better.
Yeah, hopefully that Monday you'll be feeling better after a Dolphins win on prime time Sunday night on NBC. Right. So that's all great.
Yeah, there's
anyway,
a lot.
Like I said, we've hammered a lot of Dolphin talk this week. There's nothing really new, to talk about other than at least Armstead has participated in a limited capacity for the Dolphins in practices. Yep. So that might be a good sign. Tyreek Hill missed practice yesterday due to an illness that's undisclosed. So the last I read, they hadn't disclosed it. They just simply said illness. So hopefully that's nothing then that lingers into Sunday night because we really need him to go. Hopefully this is more precaution, not wanting to get the germs to all the other players and whatnot before a big night.
That's what I'm reading right here. As you said it too, he missed Thursday's practice due to an illness. It's undisclosed.
Yeah.
Then he's listed as questionable. River Craycraft questionable. Durham Smythe questionable. Bridgewater questionable. Tua with his ankle is even limited at practice and is questionable. Yeah. Eric Rowe questionable. Teron Armstead obviously is questionable. So that's their injury report right there. I was looking at the Chargers too, and theirs is a little bit interesting as well. Derwin James is questionable. Sebastian Joseph Day, questionable. Kenneth Murray Jr., questionable. Trey Pipkins, questionable. This one is the one that stood out to me. There's Corey Linsley, their center, questionable as well. So, and half their line, actually, Zion Johnson, questionable. Their line is in shambles right now. It almost looks like our line.
They'll probably play, but they probably may
Yeah.
not be 100%, because I know at this time of year when you see questionable, it normally means they're going to play. It's like when they start hitting the doubtful, then when you get into, yes. I mean, it's perfectly earlier in the season, questionable may be meaning really questionable. But like at this point in the season, when there's playoff on the lines, most of these guys, even, they get out there. I know coaches will do the better for their, look out for their team, sometimes and not play them. But normally when I see questionable, I just assume they're going to be lined up.
They're going to play. That's how I assume take it as well. If I see them that they're questionable, I just assume that they're going to go ahead and play. When you look into their team in general, I think like their offense is obviously a lot better than their defense. They can score on people. Obviously, they got a vertical passer who likes to stretch it downfield and pass downfield vertically.
Right.
I think when you look at their offense, the game plan that we had last week to make Jimmy G one-dimensional and shut down their running attack and make them beat us with their arm should be kind of the same game plan this week with Herbert. And the thing about Herbert, though, that I'm going to say right now, and I'll probably pound this into the ground tomorrow on Digging in the Trenches as well, is that you want to keep the mouse in the house. You don't want to give the dude an escape route out the back door or even up the middle, because he will beat you with his feet as well. His legs, he'll run. He's a threat to run with the ball in his hands just as well as Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields is. That seems to be the Dolphins' little kryptonite thing there, where they don't want to defend the running quarterback. They're going to need to figure that damn thing out before we get going into these games that are playoff games.
For sure.
All these games we're getting ready to play, in my opinion, are playoff games. That's my opinion.
No, that's it. We're in the playoffs right now.
The playoffs start on Sunday night.
I agree, because if we, I've been saying all year, because I'm that old fart Dolphin fan that always waits for the other shoe to drop. Faithful to the core, watched every game in 1-15, but I still worry. And, and I was getting so cocky. And then the 49ers kind of woke me back up, because I've been telling you all year, I'm just going to enjoy this ride. I'm not going to wait for the other shoe to drop. But if we lose to the other, I very well way have our thumbnail being a shoe dropping on because I'd be worried then,
Yeah, I would too.
This is it. I won't be so worried if we beat the Chargers, then we go. Just don't get embarrassed by the Bills. Look, that we're still a solid team against the Bills. It's going to go either way. I'm okay with taking the L if you show that you're competitive. But this loss, I just can't take it. I won't be able to take it, because I just feel like we're the better team. And
I do too. I honestly do too as well. And you know what? I know everyone's scared of the big bad Bills and all of that crap, but man, they're dealing with things just as well as any NFL team is right now. They have the offensive line problems going right now. I think they're going to get their butts kicked this weekend. I think they're going to get demolished. I think the Jets are just going to come in there and just work them, dude. That's what I think is going to happen.
Fins up, Steve. Thank you as always.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming in here as always, Steve. And I'm going to throw you this here. Welcome to Dolphins Daily. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to our show. And there's a little plug for me. I hit the wrong button trying to get back to us.
That's all right.
There we go. So anyway, anything, what's on your mind, Steve? Give us a holler. Tell us what's on your mind out there.
Yeah, what do you think's good? Good for the upcoming Sunday night game and games going forward, Steve?
If I know Steve, he's going to say something about run the ball. He's going to say run the ball.
I'm going to agree with Steve on this one. I just want to run the football, man, because I think it's going to take pressure off of Tua. I don't want to go into games trying to have Tua beat and throw against everybody to beat him. I would rather have a more balanced attack to where I'm like, hey, if I want to hand the ball off here for 5-6 yards, I can do so. There's nothing wrong with getting chunk plays for 5-6 yards at a time. I think the most important thing, even going into this Sunday night game, man, I know everybody's like, oh man, the money down is third down. Well, that's great. That's great, fine and dandy and all, but you really need to be successful on first down. I don't think people understand how important first and second down is.
I know that's what I said, because you can make third down. Man, if you don't even need third down, it's great. Just keep on or make it third and a lot more manageable.
Exactly.
And no, Steve, no honeymoon over yet. Now,
no, I agree with Steve. The honeymoon is officially over, bro. It was over last weekend.
You think so?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
over,
think
bro.
So. I haven't
It's done.
seen
No more honeymoon, dude. This is all about getting to.
Oh no, it's all about the victories. But as far as the fans bashing him yet, I don't see it. That's when I consider the honeymoon. It's when you start seeing, he has to go and whatever. Like Dolphin fans always do 1 or 2 years into a coach's tenure. So that honeymoon, yes, the honeymoon failure, giving him a pat. Oh, he's a rookie coach. That's over. Yes, I agree with you guys 100%. But as far as the fans circling the waters like they love to do in Dolphin Mountain, that I don't think that part of the honeymoon. I think there's still love for him from the fan base. But yes, as far as he's a rookie coach, he can screw up the time management. He can screw. The team can have some penalty. No, that's over. There's no more. And he has improved though as far as clock management, at least the past few weeks it seems. But yeah, the 49er game is like in. That's it. He went against his old, protege, and that's it. So the honeymoon, yes, it's over. There I would agree with, but just depends what we defined as honeymoon. As far as the fans calling for his job, I think he has another couple of years.
Oh, he's got time left on on that part of his clock. But as far as like going into football games and unless you know something that I don't, Mike McDaniels, which it's only apparently that you do, I'm not going for it on my own 19-yard line on 4th down. I'm just not going to do it. I think that's going to put my team in a bad position unless you are for sure you're going to get it. It's like still in third base in baseball with 2 outs. You don't go unless you know you're going to make it. And if you get that last third out right there, boy, you don't want me to be your manager on that dugout coming in, you making that third out, because I'm going to be yelling at you like, dude, you could have cost us the game right there. Yeah. So it's a lot that goes into that. And like with Mike McDaniels, I love that he's aggressive and that he wants to be aggressive in these situations. But what I want to see is more aggressive play calling to stretch your longevity. Right. And that's running the damn football, bro. You're a run game coordinator from the 49ers that comes up with some of the best run design plays I've ever seen in my life.
I agree. And
so go ahead and use them.
I'm going to that being on the 49ers kind of played in like, oh, he's going to know my running plays or something, and I'm going to try to be different. I don't know, because like you said, we didn't run much, but when we did, you said we averaged 4 yards a carry. That's
4.1 yards a carry, dude. I mean,
that's the goal. If any NFL team's goal is to get to that 4-point mark.
If you told any team you're going to get 4 yards a carry, they're going to take it.
First down, if you just run on average, it's a first down every 3 downs.
I watched I don't
understand why we got away. I don't know if he got caught up in the moment. Oh, this is my old protege. I just want to show them that I'm a genius and that, because and then I think they got a little too cocky after that first play of the game. Boom, it hits for a 75-yard touchdown before any of us was comfortable on the couch. We were like, yeah. And it's just then it went downhill from there. And I just don't know if the cockiness, he just says, I'm going to prove that Tua's great to the whole nation here. I'm going to prove that I'm a genius. And I think maybe everyone just got a little too caught up in the moment going against the 49ers. Maybe I don't know, but it is human emotion. I damn well know when I worked as a first responder and then I went to the bigger city, but I was still sometimes the little city I used to work for would have to call for backup because when I went there, I wanted to look like I was just like, damn, they missed me. So I know that I tried harder doing that I normally do every day just to show, oh, look, man, this is what you guys let go because you didn't want to give us pay raises, So I know how that feels. It's just human nature, and that goes for every guy. If a guy goes from UPS to FedEx, he's going to want to show, see, I'm doing this great for them. It's just human nature. I don't care what the industry is, and you want to do. And I think the Dolphins kind of got caught up in going against their their ex-teammates and stuff.
No, I agree. I think the dude kind of just he needs to get out of his own way, man. He needs to get out of his own way and not overthink things. Like, there's just times where you really need to make a call here that you might be like, hey, this is a good chance to call a fake punt right here because no one in the world is going to think we're going to do it. That's when you need to call that shit, man. Yeah. Like the 4th down plays that I'm just disgusted by the short yardage situation.
Yeah, no, it's
bad. Dude, call a jet sweep. Call a damn jet sweep. Seriously, call something to the outside of the numbers and stop keeping it inside the box because it's driving me nuts, man. It's killing us.
I know
You
we
know?
got to. If we had the big brutal offensive line that clears out, then that's a different story. But we don't have that right
No,
now. We don't have
we
that line that
absolutely don't.
So that's it. You got to play to what your strengths are, and
Yep.
where some of our strengths are is speed, and we got to use that speed. And I guess that's why he tries to do those short little passes. But like I said, that one play in the 49ers where Tua ends up getting sacked on 3rd and 1, and we have to say, if you run it up the gut there, or at least or run it to the sides, do a sweep there. Then if you don't get stopped, it's still 4th and short, and then you can decide if you want to go for it. But after you get sacked, then you have to settle for the field goal. Those are like game-changing moments. You're giving
Yeah,
what
they
you're
are. And with more experience going through his career, Tua's going to get better at these moments. Man, there's plays where I know they're looking back at the film, and even Tua himself is like, man, I wish I had that one back. And not so maybe he could throw it again, but maybe so he could pick up the first down with his feet, with his legs. Like on that 4th down play to Gesicki, bro, he could have ran for the first down.
No, he could have.
So you need to do that.
Throw right on the sideline.
Like, don't even throw it, bro. Like the craziest part about it is I always watch Brian Baldinger's Baldy's breakdowns after that. And he was highlighting that play to where we went for it on 4th down and missed, but then we went for it again and then missed. But we thought we had it because the catch was overturned, the Mike Gesicki play that was on the sideline where he pinned it to his head. Yeah. And you could see he was like highlighting over there where Mike McDaniels is by the sideline. And McDaniels was like already, he's like, okay, you caught the football. He was already going to the next play to dial up for Tua to get ready to win the game. The momentum was on our side. I truly believe in my heart of hearts that if that play would have been not overruled and been completed, the Dolphins would have went on and we would have won that football game.
I agree.
We might have won by like 1 or 2 points, but we would have won the game.
I agree, because the lopsided score at the end, it's just all
all garbage.
That never happened because Tua wouldn't have been back there risking, and they wouldn't have got the cheap fumble touchdown. None of that would have happened. It's just but like you say, and then that rookie quarterback that they're all now they're praising. You know how the media, Purdy's like the next great thing.
God.
So it's just like he would have had pressure on him, and if he would have taken the lead, then it would have been on him to try to. And then I think that's a whole different ball game. He was just playing from a safe. The Dolphins unfortunately were kind of off, so they let him play from a safe position in the lead most of the game. So. It's just like if we would have taken that lead and like, okay, rookie, now you have to drive on us 75 yards here too, and
I think he would have fell apart, bro. I think he would have fell apart because I already knew what Shanahan did from the first couple plays. Like after Xavier got that interception, Shanahan was like, you know what, that's it. You're not throwing it past 10 yards no more. You're not going to throw it past 10 yards. You're going to take exactly what I tell you to take, which is the dink and dunks that he did take, and you're going to let Deebo Samuel, Kittle, Ayuk, McCaffrey, and all those guys do the rest of the work. You're not going to throw it downfield vertically. So he took what the defense gave him, bro, and that's exactly what we gave him is everything underneath. So we kind of played right into his hands right there. We needed to do the opposite right there again. And I would have dropped into a zone with like a little disguising dog blitz off the side of one of the edges, and I would have lit his ass up.
Agree. Because like you said, like KD Mack mentioned on one of our shows this week, the zero blitz is just a thing of the past. So they use it try to maybe do it, disguise it until the very end a few times here and there, and then all of a sudden come with it or something. But teams have figured it out. They see it, you give it away, it's coming, and teams for the most part know it's coming with the Dolphins. So go a few games without, then they may not game plan for it as much. But
exactly,
quarterbacks have orders like, oh, if they show zero blitz, do boom boom, do whatever,
Yeah, just throw to your hot read. Like honestly, if I was the Dolphins defense and I was Josh Boyer, I'd be like, oh, you guys think I suck, huh? You think that's all I got? I would start showing that zero look blitz,
and then drop out of it.
I would start, but I would do it differently. I would drop off the right side edge on one play, and then bring the left edge, and then on the next play I would drop the left edge and bring the right, and then on one play I would drop both of them, and then I would maybe stunt somebody up the middle. I would do like a lot of crazy different variations of it to make it look different.
Give them a whole bunch of stuff to worry about when they're watching the game.
Tons of it, dude. I throw the kitchen sink at you, dude, and be like, go ahead, how are you gonna operate now?
Right, don't give them, because they see your tendencies, how we do it now, and they say, oh, just do this. So you got to give them stuff. They say, well, you can't do this because they may do this and they may do that. So, you're going to have to wait that extra long to hold the ball, and then boom.
It's like that. It's like playing Madden when you used to play Madden and you could take the control of like the linebacker or the safety, and you could bring them up into the box and have everybody else like blitzing on one side off an overload or something like that, and then play to the weak side of the play formation to where you know they're going to throw to, or the strong side of it and wait for him to throw the ball to you and pick it off every time. It's just like playing that guy on Madden to where I'm going to play the rover, I'm going to play the robber, and I'm going to go up there and take it. And if you don't play the robber role of that, then you play the blitzing role of that to add on that last piece to make it impossible for them to block you. I mean, that's what we were doing with it. And then he lost Brandon Jones. So when he lost Brandon Jones, he lost his, what I call his trigger man of that.
Yeah, no, that was a big loss, bigger than anyone realized, because you're like,
changed the dynamic. Yep.
It's not one of the big sexy names, so fans didn't really realize. But me and you and Steve, we knew the minute he got hurt that was going to change the whole dynamic of the defense.
I figured
he doesn't get the headlines. He doesn't get the glory, but he just was the key to the defense. And he was just like, he knows all the reads. He knows how to get there. Every time the man blitzed, he got at least in the face of the guy to where the quarterback knew he had to get rid of the ball. He was just very adept at it. He's just very good at what he does. And it was a big miss, and I can't wait to get him back next year. Because
me neither. Like, you could actually see the loss from it just this last week. Like, I'm talking from a run fit standpoint. A run fit is like literally coming up into the gap and filling that run fit. Eric Rowe came up into the gap and just fucking, excuse my French, came up into the gap and just stood there. Brandon Jones is going to come up into that gap and slice down to that dude's legs, and he's not getting that first down when he carried it for that fourth down. He would have been stopped dead in his tracks right there. The ball would have been the Dolphins. That's a game-changing play right there.
Again, there was a few game-changing plays there that made the score look a lot worse than what it should have been. Because I know people are saying, "Oh, we didn't get killed."
We did not.
The scoreboard says we did, but there's something, if you watched the game, we didn't get killed.
There you go again. How stats are the stats are deceiving. Stats lie. Numbers tell you things that necessarily aren't true on a football field. Go pick up the tape, look at it with your own eyes, then make your determination.
So I'm sure the Chargers are looking at the tape all week, and they realize the Dolphins didn't get killed. They're going to say, because they just recently played the 49ers too, so they know that the 49ers are a tough team, and they know, looking at that film, like, oh, this Dolphins team was neck to neck to them until the fourth quarter, when everything just right straight downhill, unfortunately. And that happens in football games. You got to take advantage of the opportunities, because that's the one thing I would say when people say, "Oh, the Dolphins were beating nobody." So yes, against the nobodies, which is just no such thing as the NFL, but you do have a little more room for error against the Lions and some of the Texans. That, if you make mistakes, you could still have a chance to win the game. I'm not saying you're going to, because any given Sunday, but at least you have a chance. But if you make mistakes against teams like the 49ers, you're going to get beat. And
that's right,
because we made the mistakes. You can't overcome it,
I mean, just look what happened in the second half of the game versus the Texans. We started letting the worst team in the league come back to try to win the game and beat us. Yep. That's what happens when you play complacent football. When you're like, "Oh, we're okay, we got this one." Don't do that shit, man. Go out there and play every snap like it's the last snap you're gonna play. I need everything you got.
You called them out on that from the get-go on that game. I mean,
the Dolphins can't do it.
Didn't like that they took the foot off because, hey, as much as we all hate the Patriots, Bill Belichick never takes the foot off the gas. He doesn't care. Like, I remember games that they're winning, and then like 50 to whatever, and then like the backup quarterback Brady would come in and throw like an interception. He would put Brady bad. He just did not have that bad taste of bad football. So, and that's it. That's how we have to develop that mentality.
Absolutely.
I don't care, and I'm not saying run up the score. If we got the game in hand, you don't have to punch it in at the end, whatever. But I mean, I'm not against that either, but just don't take the foot off the gas.
I'm not against running the score up. I'm not against putting up as many points as we possibly can. We need to get away from letting teams back into this. Once you put your foot down on a team's throat, don't take it off.
No, I agree.
Don't take it off. Don't give them an inch. Don't give them anything. You want me to tell you why? Because they ain't going to give you shit. Ain't no one going to cry for us. Ain't nobody going to care that Terran Armstead's hurt. Don't nobody care that Tua can't get the proper protection that he needs. No one's going to shed a damn tear for us. So we don't need to shed a damn tear for anybody else. I mean, I come out there and I'd be like some snake bitten mofo, dude. Like, "Oh, you're down where it hurts? I'll hit you right where it hurts. If you're down, dude, your left tackle's down, I overload that side and I come get your quarterback, bro. And after we're done with your quarterback, then we'll go after the quarterback's parents." That's how I'd play defense.
Yeah, I know. Hey, no, you're right. That's a good way to put it. And, like you say, no taking the foot off the gas. And I think the Dolphins were guilty of that against the Texans, and kind of even led into the next week where we're, it's just like, you just want that mentality, like every play is the must play, win that play every play. Not like, "Oh, we got a 30-something lead and let's just, put it in cruise control."
Absolutely. Let's get this little bit out of the way right now. You are watching live Dolphins Daily with my man Thirsty and your boy Diggin. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We love to have you guys over here talking aqua and orange with us all day. You're looking for some great Dolphins content, some awesome quizzes, maybe some stuff you didn't know before. Why don't you go check out dolphinsthirsty.com? He's got some awesome stuff over there, always dropping great articles on the team, up to date. It's great stuff. Go check that out. You're doing yourself a favor in the morning. Get yourself some coffee. Go check out dolphinsthirsty.com. See what's new today.
Well, thank you, Justin. Couldn't have said it better myself. And if someone wants that jersey you have on, is that a Waddle jersey? Don't tell me it's a Ryan Tannehill jersey.
That's a Waddle, baby.
So if someone wants to get that, someone wants to get that while we're getting rolling here, and hold on, we might have a new guest in the house.
Guest in the house.
But we do have a new guest. Comment, guys, so we can give you some love and give you some.
That's right, man.
Killer mentality.
Killer mentality. Exactly. You got to develop that killer instinct, bro. Like you can't. Like this is the NFL, man. Like there is no survivors. There's no tomorrow when you're on that football field, bro. You got to go out there. You got to stomp them into submission and then pick up the pieces afterwards. This is a league of shoot first and ask questions later, bro. We're not in the business to be like second guessing ourselves out there. And I think that the Dolphins, once they develop this killer mentality, you're going to see a team that you ain't never seen before. And it all starts up front on the offensive line and the defensive line. And with the people who are leading them, like I think we have a mentality as a football team. It's the coach. We want to be a quick striking, high scoring offense that plays with a little bit of a backbone of a defense. The backbone just needs to be a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's hopefully Sunday night prime time. The lights are on. There's no excuses being down. Because they know, yes, fans like us are going to watch, but they know that a lot of NFL players on Sunday night watch, and they love playing in front of their peers. So, so there's no excuses. You got to show that. You got to show out. And I know Tua and Herbert have both played down the Tua versus Herbert debate this week, but they both want it because they both want to be the big dog and show that they can beat the other guy. Because yes, it's a team against a team, and we all know that. But the media loves the Tua versus Herbert, little phrase. So because that's why all of a sudden again, all these GMs are coming out of the boardwalk. And when I say GMs, like the talking heads, like the Colin Cowherd saying, "Well, I know if Greer had a chance again, he would take Herbert." And that they talked to because I guess David Hyde had an article out and they were just talking about all that stuff
about if they had to redraft, they would take Tua over.
That they would take Herbert. Yeah, so it's a whole bunch of.
I wouldn't do that. I would still take Tua like 9 times out of 10, honestly. And if you guys are like, well, you're crazy, man. Look at Herbert's arm and what has Herbert done, bro? Tell me honestly, Herbert's done nothing. He's done nothing that Tua hasn't done. In fact, Tua is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. I don't know why this kid can't get his flowers. I don't know why you guys don't want to give this dude any bit of love like he's a good quarterback. Like that Sean Merriman post was horrendous. He should take that shit down.
I know.
Tua's a good quarterback, but Herbert's better. Really? The statistics don't prove that, bro, and neither does the win and loss record. Like, you take that shit.
That's why it's all bogus. But they're all like old school, like, oh, I want my quarterbacks big, strong, and whatever. But you don't need Drew Brees has proven you don't need to be a huge guy. Russell Wilson, I know right now he's a bad example, but he did win a freaking Super Bowl, and he's not the huge. So you can get by with doing different stuff. And Drew Brees and Tua are more or less this, same arm strength. So you can even get by because I know people love to say the arm strength, but I know, freaking Ryan Leaf had a rocket arm. And
where'd that get him? So did Jay Cutler.
Jeff George, all these guys they had rocket arms, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't think the game through and know what you're supposed to do. And that's where Tua comes in strong. He's like I say, but we're prisoners of the moment in sports. Like we always want to knock someone from one bad game. They're ready to knock him. And those people were waiting for Tua to have a bad game. They were just waiting. And all season he kept on having a good game. And then he finally was a little bit off. Boom! They pounced on him. Just took that opportunity and pounced on him in an instant.
Yeah, they had that shit preloaded, man. They were ready with that one.
Oh, no. And they know because they know if you're watching NFL long enough, everyone's going to have a bad game.
Yeah, that's
if
right.
I go back, as much as I talk about Dan Marino all the time on this show, I was thrilled and blessed to have seen most of his game. If you go back, just stinker games, he had
Absolutely,
games
bro.
that he wished that he would have never had. He had
Mm-hmm.
throws he wished he would have never thrown. So it's just like, and I'm not comparing. I am not comparing. So don't get me hit me up. Oh, you're comparing Dan Marino to Tua. No, I am not. But the point is that even the best of the best have bad games.
Absolutely.
And, it's going to happen.
The guy we're going ready to go up against on Sunday night, you're trying to tell me he doesn't have a bad game? I've watched this dude throw 4 or 5 game-ending interceptions in the fourth quarter, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about that. I hear a lot of people talking about how Herbert's the best thing since sliced bread, and they're going to win this and they're going to do that. All I heard about here in Colorado is the AFC West before the season started, how good they're going to be, and the Broncos and the Raiders and the Chiefs and the Chargers. And they all suck. I'll be quite honest with you, that division ain't nothing compared to our division. The best division of football is the NFC East and then the AFC East. We don't have a winning team or a losing team in the division. I thought this was supposed to be the big year that the Chargers were this big badass team, had Corey Linsley and all these pieces, but I don't see it, man. So anybody who thinks that they're that will show me, because you got Khalil Mack and all of a sudden your defense is supposed to be this great defense. You guys can't stop the run to save your life. So I'm not sure how this is playing out, but I think it's going to play out for the Dolphins and in the Dolphins' favor. We're going to go out there, dude, and put up our Christmas tree on Sunday night, dude. We're going to go up there and light them up like a Christmas tree.
Well, I hope so. I'm feeling pretty confident this week, and you're even a little more, but I never jump ahead to the next week, but I know off camera we were saying you're even a little more comfortable with the following week, but we'll get into that because we got all of next week to talk about that. But I just want this one because I feel like the Dolphins are the better team. I do too. You play that game, when you're the better team at playoff time, and to me, yes, this is a playoff atmosphere. It's prime time. It's a game we need to win. It's a game the Chargers need to win, but we are the better team, so we got to win the game. Take care of business. I don't care if it's 31-30, 31-0, but you got to be the one that comes out with the W. And that's it. I don't care how done, whatever. We have to come out. I don't care if it's an ugly defensive game that people say, oh, that was an ugly game for Prime. I don't care if you come out with the W. I just want the victory Monday is what I want for us in Dolphin Nation.
Absolutely. What I'm really curious to see? I'm curious to see, and I think the coach is curious to see too, is obviously the players have to execute what's being called out there on the football field. But, man, I think the Dolphins are going to come into this game with a chip on their shoulder, bro. I think they're going to be pissed off, wanting to show everybody that wasn't their real team. That's not what they're about last weekend in San Francisco. I think they're going to play mad. And I'll be honest with you, I'm excited to see what this team does with a chip on their shoulder and plays pissed off. I want to see that. I want to see them be like, oh, you want to call bad calls? Fine, we'll overcome the refs. We'll overcome being in a neutral field, not at home. I want to see them overcome. And the reason why is because I know this team is built to do so. That's why.
No, I agree. And speaking of fun and lighting up, I just want to bring up that Tyreek Hill, he's 10 yards away from breaking Mark Clayton's all-time single season record for yards in a season.
He's going to do that.
I just want to point out how great it was to watch. I know yesterday was Throwback Thursday, but I'm doing a little Throwback Friday. It was so much fun to watch Mark Clayton, and I was at all the home games in that season almost. I was a lucky teenager, and my grandpa, R.I.P. grandpa, he took me to all these games, and it was great. And I got to see so many of this team in person in 1984. I'm blessed to this day. But look how great this is. Look at the yards per reception, though. 19 yards per reception. Yeah, Tyreek hasn't beat on the yards per game, but 19 yards per reception, 18 touchdowns, man. That's an amazing season. Yes, Hill is going to shatter. This is going to probably get close to 2,000, if not over 2,000 by the end of the season. But to me, it's just so incredible that I got to watch this guy Clayton play, and Mark Duper. Sometimes he forgets to mention Mark Duper. Mark Duper was super too, super duper. So I did a post yesterday on, Super Duper on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook because they were so much fun to watch.
Yeah, they were awesome, man. The way I remember both of those guys is that Duper was more of that stretch him out over the top, like that faster home run hitter type of receiver. And Mark Clayton was fast, but he was sneaky fast. Like
he was like,
he was quick. He was like the guy that was the more of the possession or the yak receiver who he would jump into underneath and get all those yak yards. But man, those two were really fun to watch, man. The Mark brothers, I grew up watching them too, and it was fun watching them. And the whole time you're watching Marino operate, you're like, man, that's all he had was the Mark brothers. He had Crash Jensen and some other good guys too. So,
he had Nat Moore and everything. But just watching Jalen Brado, tying back in, not to bore people with my old Dolphin talk.
I love it, man.
I know, tying back into this though, it's just been fun watching Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle bring back a little bit of memories of, Duper and Clayton. Now if they can just bring some playoff memories and victories, yes, that Joel never won the Super Bowl, but they at least had some playoff fun and stuff, and that's what I want from our Dolphins. And I've said all along, I want a playoff win this year. That's what my goal is. My goal. I'm not giving anyone tickets and whatever. I'm not calling receipts until my Dolphins win a darn playoff game, and it's about time. It's about time.
Man, if you would have gave the Marino just Terrell Davis just once in his career, man, we probably would have won 3 Super Bowls. That's all he needed was a running game, and we would have won. So
because look, John Elway didn't have anything until the end, and then his last 2 years in the league, they won Super Bowls because they got the running game going, and Elway just was kind of a game manager at that point in his career. But he had that great running game. He won the Super Bowl. Hall of Fame quarterback, nothing against John Elway. But yes, Marino, given that same situation, would have won.
Man, they had everything, dude. The Broncos had the best defense. They had Shannon Sharp. They had Rod Smith. They had Ed McCaffrey. They had Terrell Davis. They had Gary Zimmer. They had Mark Schlereth. They had Tom Nalen. Their whole team was literally loaded. Neil Smith. I'm talking dude, they had everybody. Like the Dolphins. Yep, sounds like the Dolphins team this year.
Hey, that's what I'm hoping for, man. That is what I'm hoping for. Give me that playoff victory. But I say the playoff. I'm with you 100%, and I know I'm repeating myself, but we got some new people in the room. So this is playoff football this week, man.
Absolutely.
Let's see, Steve threw something in there. They were small, like they. That's why I compared them. They just very much. But Tyreek and Waddle both have the burning speed. Duper had the burning speed, and like you say, Mark Clayton was more quick. But I still don't know. That 1984 season from Clayton is going to be tough to beat. Yeah, the yards that's going to be smashed. But man, that yards per catch and
I know that 19 yards an average is just insane, dude.
I know it's crazy. And you're not
talking the Marino too. I think most of those were air yards, don't you?
Yeah, they were. I mean, it's just so much fun to watch, and this is why this year has been so much fun. And my sons are actually having fun watching the Dolphins because they've been, they're diehard Dolphin fans.
Right.
And the one up in Gainesville, he still finds streaming places to watch the game and do whatever he can to find the game. My son here still gets mad like I do, and they've never even seen a winning Dolphin team. I mean, winning record in the regular season yet, but never a winning playoff Dolphin team. And they're still fans. So it's just like, man, they're finally getting some feel of like, oh, man, it's fun to watch this.
This is what it feels like.
And, we used to, like, the past several years, it was like we would go weeks without a 20-yard big play. Like,
I know.
Now we have, like, a few 20-yard plays a game. And it's just,
I love it.
I know. It's just great. It's just, it's just amazing to watch. And, man, Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill is the fastest human I've ever watched play football.
Absolutely, dude. He's definitely the fastest.
And he can stop and go like I've never seen. Because a lot of guys are fast, but they have to take time to get. Because like Waddle's fast, but you see, it takes him a little more time to get his speed going again. Well, I mean, Hill can actually stop on a dime, catch the ball, and turn upfield and runs just as fast
on a dime, bro. Just so quick.
It's amazing. He is fun to watch, and he has been great to the Dolphins. He's been I don't care what they gave up for him, all the draft picks, all the money. He's been worth every penny and every draft capital we gave up because he's meant so much to this team. He's brought a winning mentality and his quickness on the field. I know if I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm going against the Dolphins, I'm like all week. I'm going to do that in front of the players. I'd be like, how are you really going to stop this MF?
Exactly.
Because I don't care. They game plan for him and he still gets open. And, and the good thing is he's even caught contested balls, so he's done everything for the Dolphins. It's just crazy, man. He has really been worth every penny we gave up for him.
Absolutely, man. Sometimes you're just that good, you know. Some teams know that it's coming and they still just can't stop it
No.
because you're the most explosive playmaker in the NFL. That's why when we traded for him, man, I almost wrecked my car off the side of the road because I couldn't believe it was true.
Well, it's so
Um,
funny. I was on the road. I was coming back from Gainesville, actually visiting, doing some medical stuff, but also from visiting my son, and my other son's in the back seat. And then he goes, "Oh, Dad, the Dolphins might," because it happened like this. Because he
quick,
goes, "Oh,
dude.
the Dolphins are in on the trade rumors." And Adam Schefter's reporting the Dolphins are one of the teams. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's just one of the rumors." A few minutes later, "Oh, it's supposedly down between the Dolphins and the Jets are the only two teams in it." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool."
We'll see.
And I did a few minutes like, "Dad, Dolphins got him all." I know, I grabbed that 575 heading south, and I'm like almost. I gotta stop. I told my wife, so we found the nearest like Chick-fil-A, and we ate lunch, and then I told my wife she has to drive some because I'm always like the driver. I'm the old fat.
And you're like, yo, I can't. You're like on your phone, like,
Yeah, I know. I'm on. I go, I
believe
had. So she drove. She's a good sport. So she drove, and I was able to get up and go crazy looking at all the things. It was like, it's just a fun day. That,
it was the first thing.
And normally I'm not old fart that said, "Oh, don't give up draft picks." But at this point, after seeing us blow draft picks, seeing this and that, I was just happy finally for it. I'm like, you know what? Who cares? Because chances are we would have blown the pick anyway. So
exactly.
And you're not going to get time. And I only really count the one. Yes, we gave a whole bunch of stuff, but that one is really the big one. That that was a little bit of a punch, but. Like I said, who were really drafted this past year? And,
right.
And that's why I hope Chubb gets to that point on the defense when he's making an impact. I know he does for grinding the tape like you do on digging in the trenches and all that. But I just hope he makes him more of an impact where he's actually getting to the quarterback a lot more. And he has, but, I just want that big impact that we gave up that first that we're like, oh, that was a great first that we gave up. And the good thing with the 49ers winning a lot is that pick isn't going to be as high. So
that's right. Yeah, man. Right when we got Tyreek, I knew like kind of figured out the offensive game plan because you have Waddle on one side, you have Tyreek on the other side, and you run those dudes up the field. Everything underneath is wide open now.
That's why.
And I don't understand why Gesicki's not eating off that. Like the first person that popped into my mind, I was like,
yeah, I know that's why
himself a big season was going to be Gesicki. I was like, you could feed this dude over the middle, he'd be wide open because the rest of the field's going to be covered and bracketed.
So Trent Sturfield's kind of taken where, they're using him as the guy that's catching the ball.
Sure, I'm all for it. Just put somebody over there in the middle of the field in order to beat him. Like, I know I don't want to beat a dead horse over here, and I know nobody wants to deal with his bull crap or his crazy mind, but imagine putting Odell in between what we have right now. You're not defending that. You're not going to defend it ever on any planet. It's just going to be impossible to defend some sort of skill over the middle, like an Odell Beckham working the middle of the field, and then Tyreek over one side and Waddle over the other. That to me is death by 1,000 paper cuts, and most of them being big plays that are thrown for short passes.
I know. That's why I say it's just been an incredible journey this year. The bad taste of the 49er game is out of our mouths. We're ready for the sweet Sunday victory coming here against the Chargers. And, that's it. Like I said, it's a fantastic Friday, everyone. So be enjoyable this weekend and just, watch those Dolphins in prime time. And it's not just a scheduled prime time. We got flexed to prime time because the Dolphins are doing well, which is great thing. In the past, we would have been the team that's bumped from the prime time spot. Oh, sorry, Miami, you're
out of here.
You're out of here. Now we are the prime time reason. And Justin, I know you're not feeling well, so we're going to wrap up a little quicker than normal today. Sure. Is there any? I know
there is, bro. Look, the Dolphins are going to have to put on their construction hats. This is my Dolphins construction hat right here. They're going to have to put these things on. They're going to need to come to work with their hats ready to roll, ready to show everybody that they're ready to put in some Dolphin work on this team and put in their hard hats, ready to play this game. And you know what? I bet you they come out and show everybody that they're ready to roll, man. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. So they need to put on their construction hats and get ready to kick some ass. Oh, absolutely. Now I'm never going to forget about Craycraft, but man, I'd love to put me some if you could give Craycraft Odell Beckham Jr.'s legs and his leaping ability, we'd really have something.
Well, so Clayton was not fast too, man. I just remember him being more quick, but that's really fast too. But Yeah, Duper could fly. I would have loved to seen a prime Duper
That's
run just a straight
fast.
splint against a Tyreek's fast.
Man,
Like
4.28, bro.
I know that's crazy. So anyway, yeah, I won't. I will make a prediction because I know you got your Saturday show with Doctor. Is it Reginald Brown?
Yeah, Dr. Reggie Brown. I'll make a prediction. We can do
Okay,
that
cool.
right now.
All right, let's do it. You can go first.
All righty. I think the Dolphins are going to win the football game, obviously, and it's going to be a score. It's going to shock some of you people, but it ain't going to shock me. 38-24.
Oh wow, I like that, man. I like that. Some offense and enough defense to hold us in the game, and that's great. And before we leave, I'm going to give you a little shout out. If you love that Waddle jersey he has, or that hat, or anything Dolphin wise, any team wise, hit him up, and
Hit it up.
He would get you the. He would take care of it. And just hit him up on Twitter, and he would see what he can do. If he can't get it, he might be able. He will look for it till he can. So he's just a great guy to get. Good stuff. So anyway, guys, thank you. Remember, this is a fantastic Friday. Again,
That's
I am
right.
Rob Mosley, a.k.a. Dolphins Thirsty. And this is, as always, my co-host with the most, Justin, a.k.a. of Digging in the Trenches. You guys are great. Dolphin fans are great. And here goes my prediction. I think the Dolphins will win. Man, it's kind of because I have us in the 30s too, but I got us at 34, with the Dolphins 34 and the Chargers 24. So
I'll take it.
34-24 is my score. So we
both have the same score predictions on the Chargers. You got them at 24. I got them at 24.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. Yeah. So that's it. That was my score all along, and you got it. So anyway, guys, real quick, if you can help me out, because I do this for passion. I do not make a penny on anything, and I don't mean to ask you. I don't have any affiliate links at this point. Nothing. Just come to Dolphin Thirsty. It's just fun. It's not gonna be a site that's slowed down by ads. It's just a fun site. And you know what? I'm sometimes sitting here saying, "Oh, what can I write about that's different?" You can send me comments, and I would do the research on stuff, and I will write an article on what you would like to see. Oh, wait, now Steve, I got to close this out because Steve has commented with his big score prediction here. But anyway, guys, just do it because I do it for love. I'm not selling you anything. I'm not going to lie. Hopefully one day, maybe I can get some ads and stuff on there. But, for right now, it's just all fun. It's all passion. I'm retired. I do it to keep my sanity. So I would love for you guys to come to. And there's Steve, 31. So we all got the Dolphins hitting the 30-point mark. Yep. And he has them up similar to what we have the Chargers scoring, And so 31-28 is Steve's prediction. So
I like that. And also everybody watching, stay tuned. There will be soon coming to that website will be a merch page for Dolphins Daily. Things are going to be cracking on there. Sooner or later, we'll have some merch on there for everybody to jump on board and purchase as well. So eventually, we're going to get going on some of this stuff as well.
Yeah.
And there's going to be exciting stuff on there, you guys. So check it out.
Yeah, thank you guys. You guys, like I said, Dolphins fans are awesome. Please come in and comment so we know you're here. I saw a couple people didn't comment today. That's fine if you don't want to, but if we love it because we just want to, just as if we want to be the interactive. I want to be an interactive web page and interactive on here.
That's right.
You guys become part of the show, so we're not just two guys talking blah 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 all the time. We want you guys give your thoughts, share your Dolphin passion, or if you come in and you want to bash them, we're fine. We don't care. We just want your opinion. Whether you love McDaniel, hate McDaniel, love Tua, hate Tua, you can come on and share your thoughts and tell us why. Though that's all. That's all we ever ask. Tell us why. That is perfect. We lost him right at the end. This is normal. Every day I lose him right at the end. So that's fine, though. Guys, fins up as always. Thank you again. Like Mixer. Oh, there. He can get his final goodbye. I told him this is it. That has to happen right at the end every week.
I was like, damn it.
I know. Almost we got through without it going. But anyway, I was just telling him, everything. I was closing out the show, basically.
Absolutely. I was going to say, too, like, we have guests on here all the time. We'd love to have you guys be part of the show. come on the show. Tell us what you got going on in your life. Maybe you have something that you're working on that you want to plug, and maybe you need to get a little bit of networking involved. Come on the show. Tell us what you're working on. It could be anything. It doesn't really matter. It's great if it's Dolphins related, obviously. But if it's football related and something you want to throw out there at us, come on the show. Share it with us. We want to hear what you're working on so we can help you network and get to your goals a little bit quicker as well. Because our goal here is to bring you, just like Steve said, is that interactive live Dolphins coverage. You want to come in and tell us what you're thinking about the game? Please join us. We'd love to have you on the show. It's real simple. You direct message me, you direct
Yep. Oh, he fell out. Direct message me or
message
GP.
Steve or direct message Rob, and
Well, I'm Rob. Steve is now you're doing what I do. I always call you Steve because
yeah, I know.
He's commenting. I do that. I either call you Steve or Evan when they comment. So don't worry. I do the same thing. But anyway, guys,
Right.
Thank you so much. You guys are the best. You just make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button. When we get to 100, I'm going to work out something with Justin where I send, we're going to give a giveaway, probably a cap or something like that at 100. We're just trying to get to 100 followers. So tell your friends, man. Like I said, we're Dolphin friendly.
That's right.
So that's it. So if you love the Dolphins, you're going to love our page. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. A fantastic Friday.
A fantastic Friday.
Yeah, and like I say, see you on. We'll be here Monday, win, lose, or draw. Hopefully,
that's right.
Of course, it is the victory. I think we're going to be celebrating a victory Monday, Justin. Anyway,
absolutely.
Take care, guys. Goodbye.
Later, man. You guys have a good one.